What up? It's your man, the old man Winter, back again with another episode of No Holds Barred. Right back at you one time for your mind. We're here to talk about your boy Camron one time. Now, Camron has recently gone viral for his views regarding Africans and how they feel about Black Americans. So, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna let you hear what Cameron had to say in his own words. Here we go. Fair use is in full effect.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. And I know we got to get back to our topics. We already a few minutes in. Um, I'd rather feeling black than African American because Africans don't even fuck with us
Wow.
because they don't.
And Americans do?
Well, you're American, Mace. You're born American.
So I just want to start off right now by saying, where's the lies? Like, it is what it is. Just like what the name of their podcast is. It is what it is. It's the truth. If you go on Twitter or any of these other social media sites, the proof is in the pudding. It's plain and as day. They have all type of spaces and groups and congregations and all and get-togethers where all they do is all day talk about Black Americans, talk about basically how much better they are, better than us they are. Just talking down on us in general. A lot of it comes from jealousy because Black American society has elevated and rose up to be one of the most culturally relevant groups in the entire world. Black Americans trends are emulated all across the entire world. Everybody wants to be like have the swag of Black Americans, and nobody is running around here trying to emulate or copy or be like Africans. So the fact that they sold us into slavery, sold some of us into slavery, we wound up on these shores at the bottom of a slave ship, and we've managed to navigate and survive that, navigate through it, and reach a level where we are admired, at least on some levels, throughout the entire world. Whereas these Africans aren't. Nobody is embracing African culture. Nobody's trying to be like Africans or emulate them in any way, shape, or form. Only as a caricature. Maybe when they go and visit Africa, they'll throw on a dashiki or something like that, just for the pomp and circumstance of the events that's taking place right then and there. But Africans aren't influential throughout the world. They're looked down upon by European society, but Africans have in their mind that they're able to look down upon Black Americans because we're slaves to them. They sold us. They threw. We're their trash. They threw us away. And again, they're upset that we actually, in some ways, elevated out of that tragic start that again they contributed to. So, in that vein, they really don't rock with us. Again, they believe a lot of stereotypes that the white supremacist society has perpetuated against us as well. That's another part of their issues. When they come over through immigration, we've spoken about this on many times before. They're instructed to stay away from Black Americans, and through the immigration process it's reinforced them that Black Americans are the dregs of society and to stay away from them. We're basically the troublemakers. So they come in here with that mentality. They already have their own biases, and all of that mixes together, and it forms a conglomeration where you have people standing up like Cameron right now and saying Africans don't mess with Black Americans. I mean, again, no lies are told. This is the absolute truth. for the most part. Not all, of course. Some Africans do rock with us and they cool, and despite their upbringing, they'll go against the grain. But for the most part, and the majority part, they're taught and ingrained when they're taught about us. It's in an era of them being better than us in one some way, shape, form, or fashion. To the fact that they perpetuate and believe the stereotypes that we either lazy or criminals or a combination of both. We need to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and all this other white supremacist propaganda that's been put out here about Black Americans across the world. But I'm gonna let the video continue. Let Camron speak for himself.
Okay, when you go to the Olympics, and when I say
Yeah.
African American, you go over there, they call us Yankees and all that. They fuck with us, but we're not from the motherland. We're from America.
Now, see what he said? You know, like I said, I'm gonna let Cameron speak for himself. He's saying what we all know. You know, they talk shit about us. Whether it's calling us a Yankee, an Akata, a Jareer, or many of the other disrespectful words that they've developed in their culture to degrade Black Americans. Again, they're coming from a culture where they're taught to look down upon us. We were their trash. They threw us away, sent us away on sold us to a white man, sent us away on slave ships, and we were never to be heard of again. We weren't supposed to ever thrive or prosper or be looked upon as anything but slave trash. So the fact that we've elevated in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or received any type of recognition across the world is a point of contention for them. They exhibit extreme jealousy from that. And Black Americans, we don't really got nothing. We still at the bottom rung of society, but culturally, everybody wants to jock our style. You know, that just is what it is. You know, we have that, je ne sais quoi about ourselves that all other cultures want to emulate. And that just is what it is, including the African culture, because they even emulate a lot of our style and lingo and this, that, and the third. When you get down to the crux of the issue, especially when they come to America, they're definitely assimilate into our society as far as still holding their biases and their hatred towards us, but will basically almost blend into our society to the point that they're indistinguishable from us because they emulate us so much, but they still hold that hatred and vitriol towards us at the end of the day. You'll have to sit back and you might be in presence of one of these people, work with them, whatever, and wouldn't know how they really feel unless you sat down to really talk to them and actually find out their true feelings about how they feel about Black Americans. In casual conversation, they'll just naturally talk about Black Americans. Trust and believe. I've been in this situation before, and they think that you're gonna, and they believe in and perpetuate the stereotypes. I've had one tell me to my face in casual conversation that um, Black Americans wouldn't want to do the things that uh, the African immigrants or any of these immigrants would want to do. Basically saying that we're lazy and we aren't willing to do the same jobs that these people are willing to do. Yes, we are. I've had many a testimony when Trump was getting these people out of the country. These immigrants when they were here the first go round, and Trump got rid of a lot of them before Biden allowed them to flood the country again. Um, when ICE came through and started clearing out them factories and warehouses and all that, Black people were coming up. They were stepping in, taking all them jobs. They didn't have no problem doing them jobs. That's just another stereotype to perpetuate saying that we lazy or something. But again, I'm gonna let Cameron go ahead and finish out his thought process, and then I'll come back.
So I'd rather say I'm a Black American. When we go to the Olympics as a country and
hmm
somebody Black is fighting from the United States, you don't say African
hmm
American, you say American. You don't even put a color on it. It's an American fighter
Yeah,
fighting a European fight or China or Japanese
that's
or
good.
anything. You're known in the Olympics as an American. It doesn't matter what color you are. You're an American fighting against somebody from Cameroon or Senegal, whatever.
Now I will say color always matters in all aspects of society in this world because we based on the color caste system worldwide. But I understand what he's saying when Americans, whether they be black, white, or whatever, go against those other countries. Whoever the person is representing that other country, be them black, white, pink, purple, or yellow, or whatever, we're opponents on the world on a worldwide scale in competition. No matter the color of the American or the color of the Nigerian or uh, uh, Asian or Chinese person or Russian or whatever. There's black Russians. It could be a black Russian representing Russia. So it's not a color thing when we're like you say, speaking in competing in the Olympics. But again, everything goes back to race at the end of the day. I think Cameron does know that, but in the context of what he's talking about, yeah. Um, yeah, those specific instances, those a person of any color could be representing the various countries. When you put it like that. But as far as the overall big picture of things, color is always a factor in every facet of society worldwide.
The point being is they don't categorize it when it's world competition, but when it's other shit, it needs to be categorized. So I consider myself a black American. I don't consider myself African American. And shout out to all my niggas in Africa. Much love. But y'all don't consider us real Africans. Y'all don't.
Say it again.
Myself African American. And shout out to all my niggas in Africa. Much love. But y'all don't consider us real Africans. Y'all don't. But y'all don't consider us real Africans. Y'all don't. Much love. But y'all don't consider us real Africans. Y'all don't.
That's the truth. It's the truth. We've heard it from them on these spaces 1,000 times over. It ain't no secret. The only thing is when you say the quiet part out loud, everybody cries foul. But they can say it and scream it till the cows come home that we ain't real Africans. I've seen all type of videos, viral videos and everything of Africans saying black Americans aren't real Africans. But when we start agreeing with them, we're wrong. I don't understand that. There's pushback when you agree with the Africans that disowned us, sold us into slavery, threw us away as trash, and don't want to have anything to do with us. When they tell us that we're not Africans, we all supposed to grin and bear it and just accept that. But when we agree with them and say, okay, we're not, culturally Africans anymore. We have our own culture. We're Black Americans now culturally. Genetically, our roots come from the lineage of Africa and Africans. We did have indigenous people on this land before this country was built. But at the end of the day, that's a whole different topic of discussion. But at the end of the day, culturally, we are Black Americans because again, we've been rejected by Africa. If we were Africans, we should be able to walk over and go over to Africa and have some type of dual citizenship with Africa. We don't have dual citizenship with them. With no African country offers us dual citizenship. So how can we be Africans? Every move the Africans make, every step they take is a step in the direction of rejecting us as being part of their conglomeration of countries. They haven't taken not one step or made one move to embrace us as African people over here living in America. So what are we supposed to do? Just keep on sitting around and trying to kiss their ass and hoping that they accept us as being Africans like they are? No, they will always feel like we're something different than them. That's not going to change. When we reciprocate the same energy, we're wrong. Make it make sense. The problem is black Americans are supposed to be wrong no matter what they do when it comes to anybody else, whether it be black immigrants, Hispanics, Asians. Remember to stop Asian hate. Look at the flood with the Hispanic immigrants. We're supposed to take a back seat to everybody. Indians come before us. Just you name it. Any white, whiteness. You know what I'm saying? Because the system of white supremacy has designated us to be the permanent bottom caste under anybody. So if you bring anybody over here, they get slotted above black people. So black people, American black people, must be the whipping boys and girls of every society across this entire planet. So if Africans want to make us the whipping boy, then we're supposed to be their whipping boy. If they want to say you need guys are not African, we're supposed to sit back, grin and bear it, and still smile in their face and kiss their ass. But if we turn around and say we ain't African, we supposed to all be demonized and stuff. How dare you say you're not African, nigga? Make up your mind. In the society that the structure of the society that the white supremacist has created is damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're wrong just for being born black, being born as a black American. Whether you're going up against black immigrants or immigrants of any other background, of back any other background, you're in the wrong no matter what the scenario or the situation is by default. It goes back to the Dred Scott and the 3/5 of a human being. It's like that's still what we're categorized, uh even when it pertains to Africans from Africa. They get to create whatever narrative they want, you know what I'm saying, where you can't be right any which way you go. You turn left, you're wrong, you turn right, you're wrong. You go along with their narrative that you're not African, you're wrong. If you claim to be African, you're not African, nigga. How dare you say you're in Africa, nigga? Which way are we supposed to turn? We supposed to kiss these people asses to try to accept us as being African while they kick us in our ass and tell us we're not? Then when we throw our hands up and say, okay, we're not African, we're our own people, now we're wrong on that too. Come on now, make it make sense. What do they say? The system of white supremacy takes both sides of the argument. Because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is the results of the society the white supremacists have created to pit everybody in the entire world against us. That just is what it is. I'm gonna let him finish off. I'm not sure what final words that he has to say about this.
That's that.
Well, those were the final words. That's that. Yeah, yeah. I'll agree. That's that. It's a shame that we are in a situation where we have to be subservient to any and everybody that walks the face of this earth. We have to be every culture, every group's whipping boy and uh doormat to be walked all over, and anything that they say goes, and anything we say is to be thrown out of the window and not to be taken seriously. But that there you have it. I'm not gonna beat your eardrums up all day or night or whatever time it is for you. About this subject. You heard what Camron had to say. I wholeheartedly agree with it. I feel like he's completely right in his summation regarding the way the how Africans feel about us. Whereas they don't mess with us, like you said. In so many words. So it's your man, the old man Winter, and we out. Peace.